fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Southeast of Baghdad is an area with historical and religious significance, but the only people who get to see it are American troops.
In 1922, the British explorer Woolley was sent to Iraq to explore the ancient city of Ur for artifacts. But legend has it that what Woolley found was not just an ancient city, but an entire ancient complex, possibly housing a Stargate.
It's one of Iraq's most famous archaeological sites, rising from the desert near Nasiriyah in the southeast. The Ziggurat of Ur, a massive 4,000-year-old temple pyramid, and the surrounding ruins of an ancient Sumerian city. The ziggurat was almost completely off limits to the public under Saddam's regime. Back then, tour guide Daif Masen didn't get much business.
During time of Saddam, he made the tourists difficult to come for Iraq. He putting checkpoint and putting Iraqi soldiers in it. When they came here, also not picture here and not picture there.
The only regular tourists now are busloads of U.S. soldiers from nearby Camp Adder on a sightseeing excursion they'll never forget.
I heard about it in college classes, but I never thought I'd get to actually be on the ziggurat at Ur.
I'm actually in school to be a history teacher. I'm a senior in college right now, so this means everything to me, to be able to show my students for the next 30 years.
In the shadow of the ziggurat lies a place that some consider even more significant. This is believed to be the home of the prophet Abraham, a central figure in 3 major religions.
Muslims, Jews, and Christians all claim Abraham as their patriarch.
I was raised in a Christian home, and so I studied Abraham for many years. So to be in the place that he walked and to be able to touch the walls of the place that is purported to be his home is just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me.
A UN report accuses U.S. troops of badly damaging ancient ruins in Babylon during the 2003 invasion, but the U.S. is widely credited with preserving and protecting the ziggurat. American advisors are trying to help the Iraqi government excavate the site and open it to the public. Still, infrastructure and security will have to improve before the area becomes a viable destination for Western tourists.
The Sumerians invented writing. Cuneiform was pressed into clay tablets by the cross-section of a papyrus reed. They used cuneiform to record the law, such as the Code of Hammurabi, an eye for an eye. It was used in making maps, in documenting medicines and medical procedures, and to record history. Sumerian history attributes the overnight appearance of their civilization to the intervention in human affairs of an alien race, the Anunnaki, who came from the planet Nibiru. Before Nibiru vanished from the sky, the Anunnaki would share advanced technology with the human race. This included the installation of a Stargate on Earth. Professor Ernst Herzfeld, the German archaeologist, specialized in Islamic languages, history and architecture, and archaeology. He explored ancient Sumerian sites and collected pottery for museums in Berlin. He was falsely accused of dealing in antiquities, although later in life Herzfeld did support himself by selling off his own extensive personal collection. He was the first archaeologist to use photography to record carved rock reliefs in Iran. Most of the territory of ancient Sumeria lies within the borders of 20th century Iraq. While the region was under British administration following World War I, archaeological research flourished in Iraq for 2 decades. Dr. Herzfeld directed an excavation in 1931 in the province of Baghdad, where the Stargate was unearthed. The next year, the country gained its independence, and along with the British, the archaeologists were thrown out. A few years later, Ernst Herzfeld was forced to leave his university position in Berlin because of his Jewish descent. It was not until Saddam Hussein assumed power in the 1980s that the Iraqi government decided to finish what the Germans had begun. At Nasiriyah is located the Great Ziggurat, or Pyramid Temple of the ancient city of Ur. The Ziggurat of Ur contained the Stargate, and Saddam wasted no time in assigning a team of his own scientists to restore the device and get it working again, under the cover of restoring the temple itself. It took them 20 years, but they succeeded, shortly before the September attack on the U.S. by terrorists from Saudi Arabia. Normally, mainstream politicians would have no knowledge of the existence of advanced alien technology on Earth. However, the CIA is privy to this information. Before George Bush Sr. became President of the United States, he was the head of the CIA. He would share his knowledge with his son, George W., who would also be elected president. The George W. Bush administration made use of the September attack as an excuse to start a war with Iraq. The real reason for the war was to gain control of the Stargate. U.S. forces physically moved the portal to the Green Zone in the city of Baghdad, where it is currently secreted in the basement of one of Saddam's former palaces. The generation of an Einstein-Rosen bridge allows instantaneous travel between one planet and another. The portal is in the shape of a ring, and one such device was found on Earth. Now under the control of the United States government, it is kept secret from the public. But this is not a fiction invented for movies and television. This is the true story of the Stargate, discovered in the country of Iraq.